मेरे को ये पता था कि 15,000 रुपए की वेटर की नौकरी मिल जाएगी मुझे, इससे नीचे तो जाऊंगा नहीं ना, और उसमें मेरा खर्चा चल जाएगा, तो कर लेते धंधा स्टार्ट. बट आई वाज चार्जिंग गुड, राइट? 25,000 30,000 per student.
Yeah.
And there used to be 30-40 people in a batch. Almost I used to earn क्या नाम से मतलब 20 भी अगर हम लगा के चलते हैं, so 30 people 6 लाख रुपीस for 2 hours and 2 महीने के अंदर बढ़िया. और more than sufficient था. और 2 घंटे सुबह पढ़ाना है, क्या दिक्कत है? So if the times are bad, put your head down and work. And if the times are good, again,
put your head down and work.
Who are running the companies or people who are hiring the teams want great people to join them.
Yeah.
I never wanted that. In fact, I stayed away from.
By great people, you mean what?
Great people like amazing people. Like you. My seniors of the college were my first students. Because they wanted to get placed into that.
Subtle flex.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I used to roam around those fancy colonies of Jaipur and I used to look at every house. I still know the details of each and every house, and I know the owners of the houses, what businesses they are into, what cars do they drive, and what series of car number do they have.
Okay.
That's how detailed.
A stalker mindset.
I mean, you might call it psychopath as well.
Psychopath.
I invested. I do not have much expenses. I make कोई शौक नहीं है.
कहाँ invest करते हो?
I never invest into mutual funds.
Okay.
I do not go into stocks.
Okay.
I am very high on. All what we are focusing on is to reinvest that kind of money that we are making into building the talent. So we are a manufacturers of talent.
Correct.
I think people are starting businesses to raise funding. They have no other goal. They want to make money by selling the company only.
What are your views on this entire fundraise versus bootstrap debate?
Do you want a brutal one or
Brutal.
Okay. Like this is the question that I asked to a lot of people out there who I really want to work with.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Dhairya Decodes podcast. In today's episode, we have a serial entrepreneur, an educator and a creator joining us. He is currently the CEO and founder at S2 Labs and Syntexa. And he is somebody who at the tender age of 19 got into the world of training and also became the youngest Salesforce MVP in the world because of the huge impact he had made in the Salesforce ecosystem. He's somebody who's known as the Salesforce Hulk in the YouTube community. And there's a lot more that is attached to today's guest, and his name is Shrey Sharma. We're going to be decoding his journey of getting into entrepreneurship so early on, of building 2 companies and scaling the company from a mere 5 employees to 400 plus folks today. We're also going to try and understand a lot about the Salesforce ecosystem and how you can make it big in that domain. And over and above that, we will understand different aspects of his career, his choices early on, what he's currently doing, vision with Syntexa, and a lot more. So join me in today's episode and welcome to the Dhairya Decodes podcast, Shrey.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
How's the heat?
This is something which he's asking me for the 3rd time for the record, because off camera he's asked me this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're currently shooting this in Jaipur.
Yeah.
And it's evidently very hot, and that's the reason, just to set some context. But just let me know a little bit about how you're doing, how are things going, Shrey, in general. Can you tell the audience a little bit about who you are as a person beyond what I just shared with them? Because I've introduced you with all the tags and everything that people could know you for, so to say, and find about you on social media. But if I was to ask you, Shrey kaun hai as a person? Let's start with that.
So I started my career when I was 19. I was in the second year of my college. Since I was 13 years old, I had an itch about doing business for my life.
Yeah.
All what I could think of me doing was only business. In the first year of my college, I started thinking about, okay, what can I do? What can I not do? And at that point of time, all of this e-commerce thing was going on. So I used to think, okay, can we do something into that, something into this? But nothing really picked up anything. So in the second year of my college, I figured out, okay, nothing of the entrepreneurial ideas that I have in my mind are picking it up. So I started learning coding and eventually landed up myself into Salesforce. Right now, I am taking care of Syntexa, which is a Salesforce consulting and development and consulting company.
Yeah.
And S2 Labs, with which I started my career,
Right.
which is a training company. The question that you asked, that who is Shrey as an individual?
Yeah.
So I don't know whether how should I describe it. There are different definitions to who I am according to the people that I'm interacting with and according to the people I'm working with. But one thing which I think closely relates with me is that is a pure breed entrepreneur who all day, all along, all the time thinks about all of these things and very curious to walk that path.
Very interesting.
So that's who I am, I guess.
Are you somebody who very naturally is always thinking about solving some problem or building something or working on a new idea, or how is it?
I do not see business or entrepreneurship as something like problem solving. I think
Okay.
that's exactly what a lot of people out there say
Yeah.
it as
Yeah.
to be, or say it as. It's more about providing value to the people rather than just solving the problems, right?
Right.
Even if there are no problems in existence, people would still want some value out of it,
Correct.
right? So and one who can provide that value is an entrepreneur.
Agreed.
Not every entrepreneur needs to be a problem solver.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's how I think about it.
Interesting. And can you tell me a little bit about what kind of a family background you come from, Shrey? Because I think when we look at somebody's childhood, and I ask this question to all of my guests, because I think the kind of environment you are born and brought up in and the things you see around you definitely have an impact, at least on your mind with respect to how you view the world, how you look at money, what choices you make in your career early on. So, can you tell us a little bit about your family background, how it influenced you and also influenced your career choices?
So I was born in a Marwadi joint family
Hmm.
of Jaipur,
Mm-hmm.
who used to run shops in Johari Bazaar of Jaipur,
Okay.
which they still do.
Yeah.
And in the family, there were around almost 15-20 people who were living together. And in a single, I mean, I cannot say we were extremely rich because we didn't had all of those privileges of the rich, but there was a lot of money that was there with the family, which they didn't used to tell us that they have it. And that's typically the nature of Marwadis. Right?
Correct.
So I was
बताएंगे नहीं कितना पैसा है
बताएंगे नहीं उनको पता नहीं उनको सिर्फ शादी में और घर में दिखता
घर में दिखता है ये बात सही है
so that's how I got to know okay ठीक है we are something when there used to be any marriage in the house but otherwise it was a very decent living that we used to live in or decent conditions that we used to live in and everybody used to work 7 days a week. I mean, so none of the people were in any jobs or anything.
Got it.
They were not very well educated. They like hardly 12th, well, like that. But they were making good money. They had nice respect into the community, society, and everything. And yeah, so that influenced me onto being into business, right? Because I could see what are the privileges of being into business, and the major challenges that people who are born into business family see is that there is a lot of hard work which is involved, and for me it was not a challenge. So I used to get enthusiastic about doing that kind of hard work or doing that kind of
Because you had seen it all your while growing up every
while
day.
growing up. So
Yeah.
when I used to wake up and go to school, my dad was half asleep, and when I used to sleep, he used to come. So it used to be like that, and we didn't felt like okay, dad is not giving much time, which is how today's kids are feeling. I don't know how they are managing it, but I didn't used to feel like that because I was raised in a joint family, and we had always somebody or the other to enjoy the time with, so we didn't miss our dads that much. But yeah, that Marwadi business person's mindset was deeply enrooted since childhood.
Yeah.
And that influenced me very much into going into business.
Business. Got it. And if I was to ask you that, because you already had an established business that your family was kind of running, although it's in probably in a brick and mortar fashion because they have outlets and they're doing like a proper business. Did you never think that maybe you want to take this forward and maybe venture into it? Because at the end of the day, it was an easier path, if I was to say so to say, because it was already established. What got you into thinking, ki, okay, you said you had this mindset to do business for sure, but why in an educational niche per se? Because you chose education out of everything.
So the kind of business that they were into, like, was not that scalable. Number one. Number two, there's a
Why do you
typical
say it
problem
was not scalable?
for me.
For you.
The reason was because the people who were leading that business didn't wanted any changes.
Huh.
Right, so that's the problem with all of
The
the Marwadi
agility.
people. Yeah, that's a typical problem. They want their children to take care of their business, but they do not want to adapt to the changes that the market needs right now. They want it to run the old-fashioned way, and that's exactly why a lot of great people are not joining their family business because there's no freedom to execute that the family is providing to those people. And even after execute, I've seen a lot of cases in which people have executed into their family business for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. And at one point of time there is a clash, and now you're like, you're on your own. All of the money that you helped us earn
फिर
is
अलग
all
ही
ours.
चीजें चलती
But
हैं,
then at the
yeah.
end of the day, if you have to start on your own, why to
starting से ही कर लो।
से ही क्यों करना है? And also one more thing, so my dadaji used to do it, and again it was a joint business
हाँ.
of my 4 dadajis who were brothers.
4 दादाजीज हुए brothers, अच्छा तब से,
हाँ, so it's since 1950s probably.
Oh, okay.
1950s or even before than that.
right?
So yeah, since then they were running it, and it used to be very good. Like they used to make a lot of money. But my father didn't join it, and all of the family people said that, why aren't you joining it? And he was very clear that I want to have a good lifestyle. If I'm going to have a good lifestyle, I am willing to work harder. But all of the other people who do not want to have that kind of hard, or put in that kind of hard work, and still would think that the lifestyle that I'm living is something that is coming out of their pocket, and hence I do not want to get into a joint business, right? That's typically what the problem is.
Yeah.
So he started on his own,
Yeah.
and that was very clear for me that if my dad started on his own,
Then why?
I mean, so I had a choice to start with my dad as well.
You
he was
did?
into
Okay.
hospitality.
हाँ.
I worked with him for 6 months in the first year of my college.
Okay.
And I figured out that if you have a Marwadi father, and whose tongue is not very clear, it's probably better to not work with him. So instead of wasting my 4 years into engineering and thinking that after 4 years I'm going to start with my father and it'll be all right, I didn't took that leap of faith. I just started it in the first year of my college.
Clarity थी मतलब starting से.
करना है. It was absolutely clear कि करना तो है. मैं कुछ भी दे दो करने के लिए, बैठा नहीं रहा जा रहा. सो फर्स्ट ईयर में हमने ट्राई कर लिया, 6 महीने में पता पड़ गया नहीं बैठेगा. उससे 6 महीने पहले हमने फर्स्ट ईयर में वो ई-कॉमर्स वाला चीज़ें चल रही थी, तब बहुत सारी चीज़ें ट्राई करी, कुछ नहीं बैठा. समझ आ गया कि यहाँ तो कुछ नहीं बैठने वाला, पढ़ाई कर लो. क्यों? क्योंकि खर्चा चलाने के लिए 25,000 रुपये महीने चाहिए, और वो मिलते हैं TCS की जॉब से. So I went on studying coding. I did BTech in computer science.
Okay, you did BTech in computer science from Jaipur.
From Jaipur itself.
Okay.
And I was not a great student ever, and I didn't ever wanted to be. But in the 3rd semester of my college, all of the choices, all of the doors right in front of me were closed.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, now I have to look for 25,000 first, and then the business part of thing is going
So
to
you
come.
still had that in mind कि पहले एक job का cushion या some money coming in should be there, and then you should venture
When you
into
try
it.
multiple things and you see not even 15,000 you're making out of it, first the point of survival comes rather
in.
than the passion thing or luxury or status things, right?
True.
So in order to survive, so I was at that low of my life कि यार ठीक है, with father it is not working out, with my friends nothing working out, because in college, you know, right, people have conversations about so many, building like rockets for NASA.
Yeah.
But when it actually comes down to procuring
execution and
the things, that's, I mean, उसी में वो गायब हो जाते हैं.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, इनके साथ भी नहीं बैठ रहा, घर वालों के साथ में भी नहीं बैठ रहा, मुझे मेरी खुद के हाथ में लेनी पड़ेगी और जाना पड़ेगा. And I need to have 25,000 in order to survive in Jaipur. That was clear goal, not business. Business was out of my mind. क्या करना पड़ेगा? कोडिंग सीखनी पड़ेगी. In 3rd semester, I went all in into coding. I topped the batch.
So that's how you got into the tech field.
I was not interested in it.
You were not in. Acha.
Absolutely not interested into it. I mean, majority of the people who are into the tech world always wanted to be the problem solvers or something like that. I never wanted to be. And I would still say I'm not the best coder out there. There are so many people who might be much better than me in coding, who might be working in here. But yeah, at that point of time, nobody could beat me. So when you asked what kind of a person Shrey is, if he gets himself into something, I'm the best. I'm going to be the best.
You'll give it the best, and you'll make sure you outstand other people.
That's going to be there. So in 3rd semester, I started studying all of the C, C++, Java, data structures and everything. And in 4th semester, I was done with all of it.
Acha.
And people take their whole engineering to learn all of these things. And I was done with advanced Java and everything, and there was no other course available for me to learn and read or to do something about. And I had 2 years left with me into my college, and I was like, okay, now what am I going to do? So I started learning
So you were
Salesforce.
18 back then. 17.
So I got into college when I was 17. And then in 18, I was in this particular stage.
Got it.
And yeah, so that's how it went. And in fourth semester, I started learning Salesforce. So this was a new thing back then. And this was 2014.
Quick question. How did you even come to know about Salesforce? Because, like you said, I know at that time it was not a very prominent technology that people even knew of, and something like that existed.
So the place where I was learning Java, right? At that place, there used to come a person who was actually, who was actually working into the Salesforce domain. So I got to know about it from them because I
Was he a trainer or something?
no, he was not a trainer. He was at so there was a company called as Aperio at that point of time, which recently got started into Jaipur. Into like it started in 2012.
Huh.
And the person was working there. So that's how I got to know about it.
Okay.
And yeah, so I started learning Salesforce because I had nothing on my hand, and I was like, I'm a restless kind of a person. I need some things to work upon. Even today, on Saturdays, Sundays, everything is work, right?
Yeah.
So that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, everything is done now. What should I do? I should either learn something or I should go out and work on to do some job or something like that. So I started learning Salesforce. Then I realized, okay, when I got to know about Salesforce, I got to know that there's nobody in whole of Rajasthan who can teach me Salesforce. So I have to do it on my own. So I was like, okay, this is going to be a task, but I took it as an opportunity. Why? Because if there's nobody in Rajasthan, I can be that one, and that can be a business opportunity.
Definitely.
So I learned Salesforce, and in 4 or 5 months, I got certified. I got my first batch. Started training people into my first batch,
Okay.
and then
You did these trainings offline?
no
Online?
offline in classroom trainings.
Classroom trainings. Okay. And how did, at that kind of a stage where you had just learnt it 4-5 months back, gotten certified, how did you have the confidence कि लोग आके मेरे से सीखना चाहेंगे और आप लोग, how did you get people basically, the marketing aspect of it, or how did even people know that something like this existed? How did you feel your
I
batches
started
per se?
teaching it at a place where I was learning Java.
Where you were
So
learning?
there was
Was
already
it a coaching center?
Yeah, it was.
Of sorts?
like that,
Okay.
yeah. So I started training over there only as a freelancer or whatever you would
Yeah,
call
like
it.
a
part-time trainer or something
part-time
like that.
trainer. Yeah.
So and earlier when I was in the fourth semester when I was learning Salesforce, I started doing the job over there as a lab assistant.
As a lab assistant.
And I'll tell you what the job of a lab assistant over there was is to check the assignments of the students.
Oh.
So I used to get paid 3,000 rupees or something like that. I used to come from college like 3:45ish or something like that, and 4:30 I had to report. Even if 1 minute goes here and there, it'll be a half day. And I used to come back 9:30, and all those 4 hours I was enjoying like anything. Why? Because I love interacting with people, and I was getting an opportunity to interact with the best of the people that I could get access to, and I was helping them learn things. So even the IITians were coming there to learn coding and everything, and I was like, okay, even if I'm not an IITian, not an IITian, and this guy doesn't even know this, and I'm helping out him with this, I don't need an IIT degree. So that's exactly where the confidence starts building up.
Building up, yeah.
Okay, that okay, no degree or nothing of that sort is.
It cannot define or
It doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, your skill matters more. So I started building up the skills. So I got the first batch there. My seniors of the college were my first students because they wanted to get placed into that
subtle
company.
flex.
Yeah, it was. They wanted to get placed into this Aperio company, which got sold for $400 million to Wipro.
$400 million to
$400 million
Wipro.
To Wipro.
Acha.
It was a huge company.
Yeah, so it was a major acquisition that they
It was
did.
a major acquisition, and also it was a strategic partner of Salesforce company itself. So it was on the level of Accenture with Salesforce, right? There were very few strategic partners that were out there. In fact, San Francisco office of Salesforce, it was on second floor, and on the first floor it was Aperio's office. So that's how close they were. And in India, they only had one office, and that was in Jaipur. And people, because of the culture that they had there, wanted to get placed there.
Okay.
And they were looking for they were desperate to get into
into
that
that,
company, and
yeah.
they got to know that, okay, this company is working into Salesforce. All what you have to do is get a certification into Salesforce.
Correct.
And I was the only one who was providing that. So I got the early movers advantage.
You identified a gap very early on, I think, and you were ahead of the time
that's
to be able to do that. That's
And
exactly what
I
you
was
did.
lucky enough to
be able
to provide that as well at the same point of time.
Correct.
So that's how I started.
Very
Shall we
interesting.
go ahead?
Yes, for sure. No, okay. So that obviously sets context to how S2 Lab started and why did you even start something like that and how you became like the first players and got that first mover advantage to start training people. I think you've trained close to about 50,000 people now
I mean,
on Salesforce.
if you say, so I stopped training people in person
Yeah,
in
I mean your
2019.
company.
Yeah, the company
The
trained more
company
than
has,
that.
right?
More
More
than
than
that. More than that.
50,000.
More than that.
Yeah. So I want to ask you this question, Shreys, especially for the audience that's watching. I'm sure there are a lot of people, let's say, they may not want to start a Salesforce training company or a training company per se or become entrepreneurs, but a lot of them want to get into the Salesforce ecosystem. Look for high paying jobs because Salesforce is definitely a space which is growing, booming. And again, I still feel there are not too many people even today, while it has changed over the last few years. What, according to you, is the, I would say, number one ideal kind of a mindset that you need to get into this space? Second, any hard or soft skills specifically that you have to build on to get a good job in the Salesforce market in 2024?
So a lot of people, I mean, go out there and pick up Salesforce training as their first thing to get a Salesforce job. What I recommend to them is first build the basics, and the basics are
By
coding.
basics? Okay,
Coding, right? Any programming language, you pick up Python, you pick up C, you pick up Java, anything. First, you become good at that, and then you pick up Salesforce as a training opportunity or a training option.
What's the reason for saying
The
that?
reason is very simple. If you do not know how to, if you do not know the basic grammar, can you learn how to present out there in front of thousands of people? You're enrolling yourself into public speaking, and you do not have the basic skills of grammar. That's
Correct.
exactly what the thing is. If you
Right.
do not know the basic coding, and you think that just because Salesforce jobs are very high paid, I should just learn Salesforce and I'll be able to get a job. Believe me, all of the companies, including ours, take freshers especially, like take their interview based onto their coding skills
Okay.
rather than the Salesforce skills that they possess. And that's pretty much the problem that a lot of people who are getting trained from multiple institutes out there are facing. They are getting trained. The training companies assuring them, okay, we had this student, this person got placed into this package, this person got placed into this package, and they are promoting it so well that everybody is buying their course. But the main problem is you do not have the basic skills to like create that solution onto that platform. And I'll, in order to just give you a brief about a little bit technology in here.
Sure.
See, everything works with problem solving,
Huh.
right? In coding, no matter which platform you're solving
Correct.
it on. If you know the basics really well, and when I say basics, your problem solving ability, using any programming language, and your data structures knowledge.
Correct.
If both of these things are good,
Huh.
if I'll ask you today to work onto Salesforce, you'll be able to. Tomorrow only, if I'll ask you to work onto AWS, you'll be
You'll
able
be
to.
able to. Yeah.
And like
It's platform agnostic.
it's platform agnostic, right?
get
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But it's not the other way around.
Right.
If you learn
Exactly.
Salesforce, you'll not be able to.
To code and understand your fundamentals.
Exactly. So that's what it is. So the first thing that they have to do is learn coding. That's a primary requirement. At least how loops works, how conditional statements work. People don't even know that, and they just think that they're going to just get a certification into Salesforce and they're going to get a job. That's not happening. Number two, get themselves involved into the community.
Into the community.
Right. When I say community, there are a lot of user groups, developer groups, admin groups that are out there. And through these communities, you can get in touch with the people who are actually executing into the industry rather than the ones who used to work into the industry a few years back and are not updated about it. Because in a year, there are 3 releases that come into Salesforce. And every release changes something. So Salesforce is not anymore same what it used to be in 5 years back.
Right.
And it's not going to be the same 5 years down the line. So second thing that people can do as a fresher in order to get a job into Salesforce is get themselves involved into the community.
Are there some groups on social media or on different platforms? How do they become a part of these communities?
So even if you'll search on Google, admin group, Salesforce admin group or Salesforce developer group near me, you'll find it.
Okay.
So that's how it goes. And it's and by the way, these are registered groups with Salesforce company.
Acha.
So Salesforce believes very much and invests heavily onto its community or onto building its community because it gets all of its work done through the community.
Yeah, I know.
So getting yourself involved into the community can help you land a job, and there are a lot of programs also that Salesforce runs.
Yeah.
I guess right now Bhanu Das Gupta is the one who is taking care of all of these things. She's and there is a program that they're running, Journey to
Journey to
Success.
Salesforce.
Journey to Salesforce, right?
Journey to Salesforce,
Journey to
J2S.
Salesforce, yeah. So with the help, if you enroll yourself into that, I'm not sure about the skills, but at least-
Trailheads है ना उसमें.
हाँ,
जो
trailheads
अलग-अलग-
हैं. I'm not sure. That's what I was saying. I'm not sure whether you're going to get the skills or not, but at least you'll be getting an opportunity to get interviewed,
Correct.
and that's more important.
Because I think those, if I'm not wrong, as far as I remember, their top 1,000 जो आते हैं after they give the exam of Journey to Salesforce, it's a free certification path, but I think there's an examination towards the end, and those top 1,000 people get an opportunity to interview with
yeah,
Salesforce.
that's what it is. That's what, and
Yeah.
not just top 1,000 people.
Acha, the others also get?
So what they do is they ask companies which are the talent partners with Salesforce to come and
recruit.
host an event where there are different cabins that are allocated or booths that are allocated to all of these companies to recruit.
Got it.
So that's how it goes. And so all what they're doing is, I mean, creating channels for the people to communicate with each other. People need great partners, Salesforce partners. When I say Salesforce partners, it's the companies which are executing into the Salesforce world, like
Salesforce,
Syntexa.
yeah.
So like they're connecting with the trained candidates. And that's, and even if Salesforce will be able to get 10% of the selection into it, more people would be interested into getting enrolled into, I mean, these programs, and
Yeah.
that way it works.
That's how it works. Great. So the first thing, obviously, that you said is getting your basics right, which is coding. Second, you said is community. And anything else? For people to get into, the Salesforce ecosystem and get a good job today.
Get a good job initially, or what to do after getting a
Get
job?
a good job in the Salesforce space.
As a
today.
fresher,
As a fresher.
I'm going to say two things. One is going to be a suggestion, and other is going to be a myth debunked.
Okay, fine.
Right? So the suggestion is get into the system. Don't just wait for the best opportunity to land onto your door. Whatever opportunity you're getting right now, get into it. People are like, no, I don't want to work for this small company right now. I just want to work for this big brand or something like that. Until then, I'm not even joining. I'm not even accepting the offer of any company that is raising me an offer. I just want to go to the best.
Yeah.
You're wasting 2 years selecting the best. In
Right.
those 2 years, you could have had 2 years of experience and you could have switched easily. You could have got more skills. You could have got better pay scales. And probably much better things than that, rather than staying home.
True.
So that's the suggestion. Get into the system. Getting into the system solves 99% of the problems. And eventually the path gets laid down to you, right? That's suggestion. And the myth debunked. Don't just think that a certification is going to help you land a job.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely
it's
not.
not
It's just I think, it can be a good point to start from, or maybe just get into the zone and in the flow of understanding how things work. But it can't help you with getting to the final
It's not a
destination.
ticket
always.
to your job.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
It can act as an added advantage for your resume to get screened in.
Correct.
But after that,
It's all about
it's all about your skills, right? So just don't think that if you're going to get certification done, you will be having a job. And a lot of people, believe me, are doing that. And the certification costs almost like 18,000-20,000 rupees.
1,000, yeah, correct.
And after paying hefty amounts into training, you're investing into your certifications, and also there are a lot of dumps that are out
There are a lot
there.
of dumps out there. Telegram.
Yeah. How do you know so much about Salesforce community?
I read up on everything, yeah.
Okay.
I have to be informed. I'm a career coach. I'm coaching people from all fields. So I have to honestly, technically be up to date about almost every field out there, because I'm helping people right from the age of 18 to 50 with navigating through different careers. So yeah, I stay updated.
Telegram she was aware about. I'm telling this to you. People working into the industry for 2 years might not know. All right. Yeah, that's exactly where they find it out.
Yeah.
One should not, take that as... they don't learn the skills and they get the certification.
Shortcuts also,
Shortcuts,
yeah.
yeah.
है ना? वही.
It'll be figured out sooner or later, and you'll have to pay a hefty price for it.
Yeah. True.
Layoffs of 2023 and 24 is the price. So that's exactly what happened.
That was a good one. Not a good one, actually. Sorry, we're not serious. But okay, what I meant is, no, Shri, I want to extend on that and also understand, when you said that somebody should have their basics right and they should obviously be a part of the community, get into the system, and you also said a certification is not the only thing that will help. चलो, for somebody जिसने तीनों चीजें कर ली, first 3 आपकी, and सिर्फ certification पे rely किया भी नहीं, ठीक है, let's take that scenario. Ab now that person is getting into the real world and applying for a corporate job. But let's say there are 2 people who have all of these 3 things sorted. Jab you're competing with somebody who's at almost the same level as yours, what else can you do to stand out then? Then how is it that you get chosen over somebody else?
Your hands-on experience onto the platform. what matters.
what matters.
Believe me, even if you have a certification and you have the skills and you're good with your basics as well. And I have the basics clear basics clear, skills, and I do not have a certification, but I have the hands-on experience of solving the problems. Or like creating projects on top of the platform. I'll be preferred any day over you.
Okay.
So all what they need to focus on. So it's like mathematics, right?
Yeah.
The
The
more you do it
application of it on the platform is what will matter.
is what
you
will
say.
matter the most.
Okay. And I don't think you can you create or work on your own self-paced projects on Salesforce? Can you do that?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
So when you're learning Salesforce, at that same point of time also, you are getting assignments. Where are you executing those assignments? On top of Salesforce Developer Org.
Okay.
So instead of just those assignments, pick up any industry. Let's say I want to pick up hospitality. I want to create a hospitality related application on top of the Salesforce platform. I'm creating the use cases. I'm writing down the problems that the hospitality industry needs. I'm
Right.
creating the data model for the same. I'm creating the automation that are required for the same.
Got it.
And if I'll be in the interview and if I'll be explaining that for this particular industry, I've created this particular application, they'll be like, okay, you're so good.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
come. Do
definitely.
not want any certified one. We'll be more than happy to have you because number one, you have the understanding of the industry.
Correct.
You know how businesses functions and what are the challenges that they face.
Yeah.
You are able to create the solutions out of those problems. You are able to implement the right data model for that business, and you have the interest to do it.
Correct.
And the one who has got the certification, they all know that how they've got it. So, so the hands-on experience out of the platform is what gets preferred the most, always and forever.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And I think very rightly said also, because there could be people, like you said, who may have come from a similar college as yours, similar degree, similar grades, may have also done the certification, but then how have you applied what you learned in the certification is what will get you ahead of the group.
Exactly. And your ability to communicate that as well.
Communicate that,
And that's exactly where you come into the picture.
Yes. Yes. Great. Okay, Shri, let's also move on to now understanding you started S2 Labs, and obviously you started training a lot of folks and help them with their Salesforce journey. I'm sure a lot of them are into different Salesforce jobs or doing something. How did Syntexa come into picture? And when did you think that you want to do something apart from just maybe building a training institution and educating and training people on this platform as well? So how did that journey start?
See, I was never 100% on to training people.
Okay.
Right? I saw that as an opportunity. In 2016, when I was graduating, my parents didn't had a conversation or didn't wanted to talk to me. The reason was because I was getting opportunities in Los Angeles and everywhere. And the package that I was getting was something that was never heard of. And they wanted
For
me to join
Salesforce
that.
jobs?
Yeah.
Okay.
In 2016, there were hardly
Tab
any
to
people.
there was hardly, yeah,
hardly
yeah,
any
hardly
people.
any
And I
people.
was the expert into it. I've trained more than, till that time, I've trained almost 1,000 people at that point of time. And all of these 1,000 people were offline that I've already trained.
Right. In person, yeah.
In person that I've already trained. So I got a job from there, and my parents wanted me to take that job, and I was like, I don't want to leave Jaipur.
Why? Why didn't you want to leave Jaipur?
There are the multiple reasons behind it. Number one, if you really talk about emotional ones,
Yeah.
I was very much connected to people in my life.
Yeah.
Specifically my दादी. And I was like, यार मेरे को नहीं जाना, मतलब पैसे के लिए थोड़ी ना जाते हैं. So I was like, I'll be able to make money here only.
इतना ही कॉन्फिडेंस चाहिए गाइस कि पैसे हम बना लेंगे.
हाँ, location
Job
doesn't
Los
matter.
Angeles में छोड़ देंगे.
हाँ, so and by the way, I was getting 15,000 rupees at that point of time while I was training people.
हाँ.
And the package was almost 90 lakh rupees. So that's
Damn it.
that's
okay.
how
that
huge
is
it
that
was.
is a huge amount even today. Yeah? Not
That's
just
a
then. It's a
huge
huge amount even today.
In US, you know the pricing
Yeah,
parity, right?
yeah, yeah,
but
correct.
still, it was if my parents would wanted me to get married and they just had to say that our son is in. So I come from a Marwadi family like that. Let's not forget that.
I understand.
Over there, if you just this is the best thing that you can say, right? That
Your
our-
resume and bio data is prepared.
is prepared right then and over there.
I know.
So I was like, I didn't want to go, and they didn't had a conversation with me for a year about this.
Achha.
They didn't wanted me to do the thing that I was doing, but I still continued
Do
doing
you think
that.
was it because they probably didn't understand what you were trying to create and do, because you were also navigating the waters at that time? ना आपको पता थोड़ी ना था how it will pan out.
No, pata tha.
पता था.
Hello,
So you didn't take that 1% chance also that what if it doesn't work out?
I knew
Because
if
it
it not
could,
work
na?
out, I'll be able to. Like I was.
You will have something like
I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. Okay.
I was like that. So still, okay. So these are not only two things that I'm running right now.
Yeah.
It's not that like just, so when I started S2 Labs, Syntexa was already in the mind. When I started Syntexa,
Okay.
other things were already into the mind.
Okay.
Those other things already got started.
Great.
So the thing is,
You're
it's
constantly working
on something or the other. always,
yeah.
Right. And while taking care of the things that I've started earlier as well. So, and it would be very cocky and arrogant to say that I knew it will work out. No, I'm not saying it will work out. But my needs were very limited. I told you, I only needed 25,000.
समझ गई
Till date, it's 25,000.
हाँ, because वो change होना भी नहीं चाहिए, I feel.
मतलब choices है
technically
individual
it's a
की.
हाँ, it's a choice.
मतलब point इतना सा है. For me, I think it's more than sufficient. What do I need the money for? मतलब ऐसा नहीं है मुझे पैसा नहीं कमाना. I wanted to earn a lot of money. But the point is, what is the use of that money for me? It's more about that. तो मेरे को पता था कि ज्यादा क्या होगा, ज्यादा मतलब
कुछ भी हो जाए 25,000
तो कमा लेंगे ना, टेंशन नहीं है. तो so that was the confidence. It was not the confidence कि workout करेगा ही करेगा. और ऐसा होना भी नहीं चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से. पर ठीक है. 16 I was getting that opportunity.
हाँ. You said no to it.
I said no to it. After 16 I did it for an year or two. I started Salesforce Hulk by then. So I wanted to.
Which is the YouTube channel.
Which is the YouTube channel.
Right.
I have always been about doing things at scale.
Right.
I'm all about scale.
Yeah.
So earlier when we were
When you
having a
asked me.
conversation, so my whole idea about things is about scaling it. Right. I get fun out of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, in-person trainings तो मैं करता रहूँगा, but for how long will I be able to do it? And training thing, right? You know.
Yeah, that
better
is
than
also
me.
very connected. I understand.
So I was like, okay, then what should I do? I don't want to. I'm regarded as the best person into the industry right now who's doing this. If I'll stop it, I do not want somebody else to take my place. Then what should I do? Pass it on. Pass it on how? People don't want to learn it. People don't want to even become trainers. Even if you want to pay people more, double the salary of a developer, they do not want to become trainers. That's the problem of the industry. True. Right? The people from whom, right? If it genuinely comes from inside,
it has to come naturally.
It has to come.
But trainer आप ऐसे नहीं बन सकते.
Exactly. But the problem with that is, for the people for whom it comes naturally, they don't want to work for anybody else.
हाँ, correct. ये भी एक problem है. Then why would they not start off on their own rather? Why will they work?
जिनका naturally आ रहा है वो मेरे भी काम करेंगे.
Correct. वो भी
So
है.
I could not scale it up.
हाँ.
So then I got an idea कि यार ठीक है YouTube पे पटक देते हैं. And at that point of time I was charging them good. I was of course getting very less out of it. But I was charging good, like, I mean, 25,000, 30,000 per student.
Yeah.
And there used to be 30, 40 people in a batch.
So
almost I used to earn, क्या नाम से, मतलब 20 भी अगर हम लगा के चलते हैं, so 30 people, 6 lakh rupees for 2 hours and 2 महीने के अंदर, बढ़िया. और more than sufficient था, और 2 घंटे सुबह पढ़ाना, क्या दिक्कत है?
True.
So I was like that, but फिर वो आया कि यार ये पैसे नहीं आएंगे, अगर मैं YouTube पे फ्री में डाल दूंगा तो फिर मुझसे पढ़ने कौन आएगा? So I was like, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. And I went all in into it. And I went into YouTube, initially started creating some content pieces, and then I was like, यार ठीक है, मतलब जो भी मुझे आता है वो बांट दो. So on Salesforce Hulk, I pushed all of my lectures, absolute lectures, in the best format I could at that point of time with the available resources that I had. और वो वहाँ से start हुआ. Slowly and gradually it picked up. And then work started flowing towards us. तो वो मैंने करना चालू किया. पर मुझे समझ आ गया मैं ये वर्क स्केल पे नहीं कर पाऊंगा. So there were students of mine who got trained by me but were not getting great jobs, and a couple of them were great, which I wanted to be in my team. So we started with 5 people, Syntexa.
They were your students?
All of the people, majority of the first 20 students who joined Syntexa, people who joined Syntexa were my students.
So really nice.
Yeah, so that's how it started. So with those 5 people we started.
ठीक है.
And why we started, because I was like, okay, काम तो आ रहा है पर इसको
Can you explain किस तरीके का काम आ रहा था? Like,
because all
people wanted
related to Salesforce. People wanted us to implement Salesforce
for
do
them.
some customizations onto Salesforce platform. All of the service related work that was coming.
IT related solution.
Everything. IT services related work that was coming up. And a lot of consulting related work was also coming up, because I had the position at that point of time when people didn't even had YouTube channels. So yeah, the work started flowing in and I didn't miss the opportunity. I figured out that work is coming. It's not about me doing the work. It's about the work getting done.
Correct.
So I have people. So it started with 5 people, then scaled up right now like 454.
450? Very interesting. Let's talk a little bit about that. From 5 to 450 people, And you said you love scaling things. That's pretty evident. You've done it in the last 4 years, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
we started with 2018. It's 6 years now.
6 years now.
6 years, absolutely bootstrapped, no loans,
No funding, no loans.
nothing like that. Absolutely
Amazing.
profitable.
Amazing. Now you tell us, what is the secret sauce to doing it? More than the secret sauce, let me put the question this way, Shreya. I think hiring is a big problem. Simple. There's nothing else to it. I cannot put it in fancier terms. 3 words, hiring, 4 words, hiring is a big problem for everybody. Whether you talk to the CHRO of Tata or you talk to anybody from Microsoft, you talk to anybody anywhere, hiring is a pain. How do you ensure? Firstly, though, I think you cannot solve for it completely. That's my belief. Secondly, to the extent that you can solve it truly depends on your leadership style. What are your inclinations? What are your visions and goals with the company? And what kind of people you want in the ecosystem of your company? How did you even have that faith कि जिन लोगों को मैं हायर कर रहा हूँ, चलो पहले 20 तो आपके स्टूडेंट्स थे, उसके बाद व्हेन द टीम ग्रोज वो 20 और 20 को हायर करते हैं, जो भी हाउ द लूप कंटिन्यूज एंड एक रिपल इफेक्ट होता है. हाउ डू यू इंश्योर दैट द पीपल जॉइनिंग इन आर अलाइंड विद द लार्जर विजन ऑफ द कंपनी? If they're not equally motivated as the founder, which no employee can be, I don't think so. But how do you just ensure that everybody joining in has a good time? There is a good culture maintained. They take back something from the company and can add value as well. Because I think that is something a lot of people are struggling with. And because you've moved from 5 to 450, don't give me a playbook, but at least tell me how you were able to do this over the last 6 years.
I can give you a playbook for it, and
Sure.
that's a very easily understandable playbook, but
Batao.
very difficult to execute playbook, right? Number one, don't seek out people who are as good as you are. You're not going to find them. If they would have been as good as you are, why would they work for you? Be practical about it.
True.
That's
सही
the
बात है,
problem
वो तो
with
सबसे
people.
पहले, yeah.
Everybody,
And no, not just good as you, as dedicated as you also.
everything.
towards everything.
Nothing will be as you.
हाँ, वो नहीं हो सकता.
So have clear expectations.
हाँ, मतलब वो accept कर लो.
Choice क्या है?
हाँ.
मतलब what other choice can
Choice
you
do you
have?
have, yeah.
ठीक है, मतलब and let's live into the reality rather than the imaginary worlds that we can create for ourselves after listening to a lot of great talks into great sessions by great people. Reality यही है, people are people.
Yeah.
The problem is people who are running the companies or people who are hiring the teams want great people to join them.
Yeah.
I never wanted that. In fact, I stayed away from it. At least till the time I was 100.
By great people, you mean what?
Great people like amazing people like you, right? You're good with the job that you are doing. You're smart. You're presentable. You communicate well. You know about your job. You know about your industry. Everything, right? So you're a package. KPMG is going to take you away. How can I hire you? Let me be practical. I cannot hire you.
I get it.
I'll not pitch you even. I'll not waste my energy marketing myself to you or my company to you. I'll pick up. How does hiring work? Exactly like how dating works. You first figure out who belongs to your category, right?
सही बात है.
That's exactly how it is.
नहीं,
Who
सही बात.
belongs to your category? If you think that this is too high of a person for the kind of person you are or for the kind of company that you're building, don't even pitch to them. Don't even expect.
Know your target audience well.
Know your target audience well. So I knew my target audience very well. The first people that I hired after we were 20, we hired them for 4,000 rupees. 4,000 rupees is what they were getting when they were training for 3 months. After that, of course, it got to 15, 20 and something like that. Right now, people start with 5 lakh ka, 6 lakh ka package and stuff like that. But at that point of time, that was the only money that I had.
Correct.
And I was very clear. I didn't want to run around for fundings and everything. I was like, ठीक है, this is what I can get. I should solve the problem with them only.
ठीक है.
So those people were not getting any other jobs anywhere else because they had backs into their engineering and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so they were not great academics people, but they wanted to do something. So they were hungry.
Right.
Because all of their friends and everybody around them got placed into some great companies, and in their family, they were being questioned कि भैया तुम रोटी भी कैसे खाओगे? So we hired them. And what we did after that was we trained them. And we were absolutely clear that we are going to hire people who want to work.
Correct.
Who have the attitude to work, not the skill set to work.
Work.
We'll provide them the skill set to work.
वो आप सिखा दोगे.
वो तो हम कर ही देंगे.
Right.
So that was very clear. Number one. Number two, after you become 20, now the other 20 people build your team.
Right.
false.
नहीं होता.
Doesn't happen. Till today, I'm deeply involved into my recruitment activities. Of course, I now have few people who are taking care of their department and the hirings related to their department.
You would be coming in at a certain stage though.
हाँ, मतलब I'm not
That's
having
like
a interviews. I'm not
interviews,
even discussing the salaries or anything.
Right.
But whenever they need me,
हाँ.
they have the conversation that okay, these are the two people that I have in my hand. This is what this person is expecting. This is what this person is expecting. Which one do you think I should go with? So these are the kind of conversation that I'm having. I'm not directly involved into hiring right now. Because now I have the people. But when we were 20, believe me, I went into every single college, presented our company on my own into to all of those students and made sure कि एक भी बंदे पे impact नहीं छूटना चाहिए. And I did it till we scaled to 100 or 150. उसके बाद मैंने जाना बंद कर दिया because we had
Then you
people.
could obviously.
हाँ, तो वो वाली चीज. So initially it worked out like that. So 20 के बाद हमारे उन 20 ने नहीं हायर किया.
अच्छा, ऐसा नहीं हुआ.
ऐसा नहीं हुआ. उसके बाद बेस्ट लोगों को हमने हायर नहीं किया. ये हो गया. And what was your third question?
नहीं, my question was कि आपने, I was asking you for a playbook. आप मुझे playbook दे रहे थे that how can people hire the right set of people?
The right set of people are not existentially available out there. You have to hire the people and then you have to give them the right kind of skill set and vision for them to grow into the same organization.
Correct.
And you have to present them that opportunity to grow. And even after that, if people want to choose that opportunity or not is something onto their hands.
That's their personal choice.
And that's exactly when the game of scale happens. So you don't just give a vision to one person and expect that this person is going to choose it. You give it to 20 people.
Got it.
You give it to 40 people. And then 4 might think about it. So that's how we have managed till date. And till now, it's working out pretty well for us.
Got it. And if I ask you, since we're talking about scaling, hiring people, how you were deeply rooted in the process, and even today you're obviously involved to a certain extent wherein you know who's coming into the system.
I don't personally know. We will now. I know what criteria
are there.
What criteria? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right? So if I was to ask you, what are certain criteria that are a must for somebody to join Syntexa, which you definitely look at कि personality wise, मैं tech skills, hard skills में जा ही नहीं रही. I am talking about personality traits.
Coachable. Willing.
I was just going to say.
And number 3 is where do they come from?
Where do they come from?
It's not about location, but what environment, what culture that they have come from.
The first question I asked you.
Yeah. Because that matters a lot. In fact, to all of the people who get into recruitment in here, I just tell them that skills का कुछ नहीं है. Skills can be taught, can be refurbished, anything can be done with that. कुछ भी हो सकता है. But the point that matters, and also, you do not listen to the words that the people are saying in the interview. You look about...
Everybody is... I know.
You're training them, right?
Yeah, you're training them.
No, you are training them.
I am training them for
so
sure.
They're going to clear the interview for sure. But the point that is happening over there is, it's all something that they've learned or that they've acquired recently.
Recently, yeah.
What matters more is that, okay, where are they coming from? What circumstances, what situations they might have gone through, how they have been impacted through that. You have to listen to more of the things without them saying it.
Correct.
And that's how it goes, right? So coachability is important. Willingness is important. And the environment and the things that they want to do for their life. Like this is the question that I asked to a lot of people out there who I really want to work with. Who I really want to work with. Not everybody who works at Syntexa gets asked this question. But typically the people who work with me. जीवन में क्या करना चाहते हो? And you get all kinds of answers. And I understand pretty clearly after the answer of this question कि अच्छा कहाँ है?
बस
और वो sufficient है. So these are the 3 things that matters.
Interesting. See, so if you want to get hired at Syntexa, guys, here's what you need to do. मैं और ज़्यादा plug in नहीं कर सकती.
All you have to do is be willing and be coachable.
Correct.
And that's all what matters.
Great. Okay. Since we're talking about coachability, we're talking about willingness, we're talking about this entire conversation around hiring folks, being around folks. You said you love interacting with people, being around people. Being a people manager is one of the toughest jobs, is what I feel. I feel so.
Okay.
because while it comes very naturally to me, I'm again a people's person. I think I thrive on the energy exchange with talking to people and being around them. And I think I'm pretty good at it. But the reality is that it involves a lot of different aspects in it. For example, like you said, when you're running a company or a founder, you are looked at in a certain way, you're perceived. There is a replicability that a lot of people want to have, like when they look at you. And I feel, in a way or the other, everything that the founder does or somebody at a pivotal position does in the company sets the tone for what most of the people are going to follow.
Absolutely agree.
You set the tone. So how do you ensure that you are, if not that figure, so to say, or perfect, because nobody is, how do you ensure you're a good leader and people are looking up to you for the right reasons, and then they replicate it within the system, which is indirectly again helping the company grow, right?
So number one, you don't have to pick up any personality,
Got it.
right? You just got to be yourself.
Be authentic.
Be authentic to the natural self of who you are, and even if there are some flaws into you, accept it with utmost what should I say, with 100% acceptance within yourself, and be happy about it.
Yeah.
Rather than be willing to like tone it down or do something like that. That's exactly what I do. And I tell the same to people.
Got
I
it.
tell it clearly to them that you do not have to become me. You do not have to come into my shoes. You have to be yourself. Wherever you are great, or whichever part of the business you are good at, you become better over there only. So that's one thing that we do. When you said that people want to do the same things that the founder does, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And that requires the leader to be in a position where they are being judged at all times.
Times you're just under the radar.
All times. What time you come, what time you go, what do you
kya
eat,
kar rahe
how
hai?
do you, everything. I mean, even if you, why have you put down this do not disturb sign? Everything is being questioned every other time. The only way to set the right tone is to be 100% committed to your job. And my job over here is to grow the people in the organization, and that's exactly what I do. And that's exactly the reason why people also might look up to me. Not all of the people look up to me. I'm very much clear about it.
Got it.
And nor they have to.
Nor do they have to. Yeah. Why is it necessary?
It's not necessary. You do the job, right?
Yeah.
That's all what you're here for. If you think that you have to look up to me, and if you want to learn few things from me, then you might look up to me. And so the people who look up to me for the reason because I'm willing to invest into them.
Yeah, that's very important.
That's very important. And all what I do in all of my job is always investing into the people around me. In terms of skill sets, in terms of right mindsets, in terms of giving them the right indications. Okay, what might happen later in your life? Are you thinking about this? Are you planning to get married? I mean, what is going to happen like this? Is everything good at the family?
Right.
So I'm very much deeply connected with each and every individual who is directly working with me. Or
Their
who's
life,
generally-
not just the professional aspect of it.
if you really understand what life is, I am. Like literally each and every point. I know what's going on within them, even if they do not say a word. And I do not expect everybody out there every other leader out there to be like me.
Yeah.
Because this is something that is a general interest or involvement that you I mean, I'm genuinely interested into people.
People, yeah.
Right.
You are curious and you want to know and you want to be involved.
Yeah, I'm not involved, but I
but
want to be help to anybody who is around me in order to lift them up.
Correct.
And that's the same and the only reason why people might look up to me. And still I'm saying might look up to me. I've had a lot of times in which I've invested into people got lifted up and everything like that, and they hate to look up to me. Or they might hate me as well. And that's none of my problem. But the main thing is, there is no other way a leader can be looked up upon, right? No money can buy that look upon respect.
Never.
No position you're giving to them can buy up that particular thing.
True.
They should know that how this person is managing all of these things and still being happy around all of us and not throwing the tantrums, throwing the arrogance, being agitated all the time. And
also just being normal, right? You don't have to have that. I feel a lot of people think that when you are at a certain position, pedestal, people just take themselves very seriously, right? That doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And you push people aside.
Correct.
And your job as a leader is to pull them
towards you and to be
right?
with you.
Exactly. And how you will be able to pull them towards you is by being like them.
Correct.
Whenever you're with someone, so we were chit-chatting over there, I was like, have something. So there's no
And that is you being your natural self. It's
That's
not
exactly what
something
it
that you're doing to obviously just.
That's exactly what
just
I would
how
do
you
with
are.
my cousins, and that's exactly what I'm
What
doing
you're
with
doing.
my people
Exactly.
that are working in
Exactly.
here. In fact, I restrain myself from. I don't know whether this should be a thing or not, but I restrain myself from calling people who are working at Syntex as employees as well, and I make sure that the leaders over here are also not calling them as employees, because at the end of the day, I am as a founder also an employee in the organization.
True.
So
Technically, yeah.
so I'm not an employer. The Syntex, a company entity, is an employer.
an employer.
So at the end of the day, these are all people involved, and
Yeah.
I'm working with people and providing some people the services that we're trying to provide.
True.
So that's how it works, and it's very difficult. It should come naturally, and a lot of discipline is required in order to be that. If people are willing to be at that position, I just pull them up. And until unless they are not willing to be at that position, I do not push them. I had done that earlier. I failed miserably. And then I learned a lesson.
Interesting. No, I really liked how you actually summed that and the points that you shared. It's really interesting to understand that you don't look at, let's say, you being a leader personally, you're looking at it. Firstly, you don't take yourself very seriously, which is very important. Second, you're pretty okay with the fact that not everybody might be looking up to you and might not even want to replicate anything, which is completely okay. Your job is to just ensure everybody around you is getting lifted in their career or is where they want to be.
Exactly.
Right? And I think that is important to be able to scale a team also and be a good leader. Since we're talking about leadership, Shreya, I also want to understand that how much of a role do you think does your personal branding as a founder play with respect to your leadership aspects? They're not connected in any way, firstly. So I'm not trying to connect the dots between the two. But I'm also trying to understand, see, for your inner ecosystem of people जो आपके साथ काम कर रहे हैं, build कर रहे हैं, वो तो आप कर लेते हो, आप रोज उनके साथ interact करते हो. But there are obviously a set of people who would be interested in just your entrepreneurial journey or what you've done, right? And it is important for founders to just present it somewhere, even if you don't want to call it personal branding. Chalo. How important do you think it is for leaders today?
I'll tell you a story in order to explain it to you the best way possible.
Sure.
I run sessions around in the house for a lot of people on
Yeah.
a lot of topics because I have that genuine itch of passing on whatever I've got.
ठीक है.
The game of scale is also about that only. Why do I want to do things on scale? Because what would I do with all of that money that I'm going to earn? Anyway, so I want to pass it on to the other people and do great things in life.
Yeah.
So let's come back to the point. So I do a lot of sessions into the house and not a lot of people join. And the topics of the session are how to make money. Imagine the one who's making money.
How to make money.
How to make
Acha.
money. That's the
Topic.
kind of topics.
Topics.
How can you convert risk into a calculated risk?
You do this for the in-house team.
Yes.
Okay.
And hardly 10%
interesting.
people join it.
Yeah, but that is cute.
That's
How
something
to
that I
make
was,
money mein toh I was expecting a larger audience.
and it was not there. I'll tell you the complete story. The very next day, I went to a public gathering of Salesforce event,
Acha.
and the same team which was not available in that session was there available to attend my session. And I was like, okay. In the house, there would not even, people might think that when I'm going to become a boss, when I'm going to become a CEO, when I'm going to be at this particular scale, people all around me would be dying to talk to me. But that's not exactly what the case is. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. And I do not have any shyness or
Admitting it and
I'm
talking about
admitting
it.
it
हाँ,
with, because this is exactly what I'm seeing. People think that okay, arre, nahi, so things like that. I don't know why. There are a lot of things that they can learn from me, and I think if one would want to grow in their life, they can or they should if they're getting an opportunity. And by the way, all of these sessions earlier we used to do it half an hour earlier than the check-in time or the clock-in time that used to happen. But now we are like, okay, TK, let's keep it in the hours that they are providing in here, and still they do not join it. So you're getting paid to attend those sessions, right?
Yeah.
And still people don't join it. And when in that event I presented, everybody was like, so when I go into presentation, and especially when it is about Salesforce, a lot of people have started their career watching my videos.
Right.
So they would any which they would want to meet me and have selfies clicked and stuff like that.
Correct.
Over there, when other people were clicking selfies, and after the session, everybody was applauding about the session, and I took sessions of other two people as well. So I got 45 minutes. I took the stage for 1.5 hours or 1 hour 45 minutes, and the people who didn't got a session were fine because they got to listen to me, and the other people who were also sitting into the session were fine, were happy listening to the session that I was providing at that point of time. And my people over there were enjoying it.
Huh.
So the question that you asked is, how much personal branding is important for a leader
Correct.
to be looked upon on?
Yeah.
When I'm in the house, these same people are not even coming into my sessions and having one-on-one conversations with me. Over there, they're clicking selfies with me.
How does that add up?
How does that add up?
Yeah.
Just they want a validation from the
From
world.
the world, yeah.
That okay.
You were with so and so and iska attend kiya session. I get it.
So when you're working with me, you're not even coming and having a conversation with me when I'm absolutely available. It's not like
In
that.
fact, you can get more meet one-to-one time and extract more knowledge at least, I feel.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Technically, yeah.
And people have done that, and I'm happy that they've done that because
Right.
they're smart.
Yeah.
They're getting the advantage in the same amount of time. If you're going to get the experience of a guy like me who has executed into this space in less the amount of time
Yeah.
than he has what he has spent, and in मतलब कोई और ज्ञान दे रहा है उसके एक्सपीरियंस से वो ज्यादा काम आ जाएगा ना, rather than खुद ही उस सिचुएशन से गुजरो.
आपकी जर्नी और एक्सेलरेट हो जाएगी.
बस तो जो लोग करते हैं वो बढ़िया है, पर बहुत कम करते हैं. सो द पर्सनल branding thing, when we went all into it, people now want to listen to the things that I'm saying more, because now the world is saying you are amazing. All the things that you're doing is amazing. So they so घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर.
That external factor and that validation always
And
has a role to play.
typically when the generation or the world, I would rather say, is all about social media. So if something is not very great looking onto social media, and in reality even if they might be very amazing, it doesn't matter. So that's how it works. So and that's exactly why I guess we have again picked up personal branding. I really used to do it when I was a trainer, just a trainer or stuff like that. When I was just running Salesforce, I used to do those vlog kind of things as well. But then with the scale of the things, I could not. But because of the people, we had to start it. So that's how great of an impact
Impact it
personal
has.
branding can have for the people who are into leadership positions, because their own or the people into the same organization would not want to listen to what they are saying until unless the world validates that whatever they are saying is absolutely correct,
Correct.
or it is working out for them.
Yeah. I mean, if you take the biggest of the biggest examples, I think people like Vinita Singh or Namita Thapar or Raman Gupta, when they came on Shark Tank and when they got that validation from millions of people who were viewing them on your television screen, that's when they started building their brands on LinkedIn. None of them were active on LinkedIn before that.
They didn't
Literally.
have the time to,
because they
right?
didn't have the time to and they didn't feel the need to.
Exactly.
Right? But when they realize that as leaders running these big companies and people seeing us on their television screens and kind of becoming household names, now also for us to create a larger impact and kind of have like a space or a thought leadership built. As a founder, I should have a brand on LinkedIn as well. And then all of them got active and got big pretty quick, obviously.
Of course.
Right. So I think essentially what you're saying is you do believe that it has an impact.
Of course. 1000%.
Okay, great. With that, let me understand a little bit also on the content creation front, I think, Shrey, because you started a channel on YouTube back when a lot of people did not even have YouTube channels, let alone like a Salesforce focused YouTube channel, right? Where you were training, imparting knowledge, etc. When you started that journey, and I'm not sure if you still do it actively today, but any thoughts on how content creation has helped you in any way, if at all, in also building the company as a leader, if at all, or it has helped you with respect to understanding people better? What kind of an impact has creating content, being in front of the camera, that entire process, because you've been doing it for a while, had on anything with respect to your work and building the company?
So if I wouldn't have built the community, I wouldn't have been able to build this company. That's how easy and simple it is.
So the community is the thing that translated you to building the company, you're saying?
That's exactly what it is. I never traveled outside India, but all of the clients that we have today are not, are from US or some
Yeah.
other country,
Yeah.
which I've never traveled. How would that add up? You need to have the presence there, right?
Right.
You need to be regarded and respected into the expert into a particular subject matter.
Right.
How can you do that? With the help of some things which are limitlessly scalable without much input
Yeah, needed.
required. And what in today's world is that? It's media, it's content.
Correct.
So the trainings that I was talking about, that I was able to train people who I picked up from the college and who were not amazingly talented into the art that they were into. How did I train them? I did not train them personally. I trained them with the content that I recorded.
Oh.
And
Okay.
till date, we have a 6 months training program that we
Right,
run, and it's
right.
all content.
Acha, it's your recordings.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And not just my recordings. Now there are other departments as well. There are other
Right.
technologies as well. So
Yeah.
every person who started that technology or the practice onto that technology started with recording the content onto it first and then scaling it up. Let me tell you an example. There is a guy who's running Commerce Cloud practice in the house. And Commerce Cloud is, have any idea?
I have a basic
So it's an
idea.
e-commerce platform of
E-commerce
Salesforce
platform.
itself.
Yeah, I know.
So it's Commerce Cloud. So he
Right.
started with the Commerce Cloud practice. The problem with professional services businesses, as soon as you train people, they're gone. So as soon as they learn something, they're gone.
Correct.
So now you have to train people again.
People again, huh?
Now you have to train people
And how
again.
many times do you keep doing that?
When are you going to do your own job?
Exactly.
So that's exactly what the problem
You
that
build
exists.
an SOP of sorts then, right? By creating those trainings and having those modules in place, ताकि आपको वो बार-बार obviously at least in person ना करना
Exactly. So that's exactly where we started.
पड़े. Correct.
Companies initially take a lot of funding into services, business, invest heavily onto retaining the talent. We never wanted to retain the talent.
You were okay with people.
Of course, because
Let's
we
say-
can build other people, right? And how long it will take? 3 months. Even if we are going to hire experienced people, it will be a 3-month notice period that they'll be serving. And the cost of hiring some experienced people is
People
going to
as
be very
well,
high.
huh? Correct.
And also the tantrums that gets along with it.
Expectation.
Expectations and everything. So we could train people into 3 months and get them onto the level where the person who is as experienced as 1.5 year or 2 years is executing. That was good for us. So we started with that. We didn't scaled up and then thought, okay, now like Infosys, we have to have a training center. No. Let's start the training center first. Now the virtual environment of the technology is allowing us to build that first.
Yeah.
And after building that first, we scaled it up.
Got it.
So for every practice, we have videos.
Acha.
We have content. And every 3 to 6 months, there are new people which are getting into the training, whether there is a requirement or not, because you never know when people leave.
Right. Very interesting.
So that's again an add-on onto the recruitment playbook.
Recruitment playbook. Good. Very interesting. I think at least that way you're saving a lot of repetition and redundancy that could come in.
So let's
in
say,
the process.
let's take an example of Surbhi. Let's say Surbhi is taking care of the marketing aspect in here.
Right.
Surbhi is, let's say, facing a challenge with, let's say, SEO thing in here.
ठीक है.
Now, she would not want to be available to train people again and again, right?
Yeah,
She would pick up greater things for herself to execute on because that she also wants her professional growth to be
Right.
there.
Right.
But the problem is, as soon as she trains someone, the person left. And if you want to retain them, even if you give them everything that they're asking, 3 months down the line, they're again on
They're
the same
again
page.
on the same page. Yeah.
So, I mean, what is the sustainable solution?
Loop. It's a loop.
It's a loop, right?
Yeah.
So, in order for me to make sure that Surbhi is growing consistently, I had to ask Surbhi that Surbhi, okay, get this thing sorted first. Otherwise, you'll not be able to execute onto the aspirations that you have about executing the things that you want to execute into your profile.
Yeah.
So that worked out really well.
Very interesting.
And content, without content, it was not possible. So, without content, you cannot hire people today. Without content, you cannot sell any of your services today. Without content, you cannot train your people today. Without content, what can we do?
You can't build a personal brand also today.
Nothing,
Content के बिना कुछ नहीं होता है.
अभी तो मेरे को नहीं लग
Content
रहा.
is distribution and distribution is king in a way.
Exactly. And when you say distribution is king, it's also important that when you scale into so whenever I tell you that I'm all about scale, I understand distribution to the core of it. And when I understand distribution to the core of it, you'll see the businesses who are getting the maximum distribution have to play around keeping their costs minimal.
Minimal. 100%.
How can you
How
do
else
that?
will you?
How else will you do that?
True.
So even if today I want to start a branch of ours in Pune, all what I'll have to do is have those videos available to them and training sorted.
Correct.
So that's all what is required.
सही बात
So, but in the same case, if I wanted if I hired a trainer and I'm dependent onto that trainer to train the people in here, of course I'll have to pay them the best of the salary and have to take care of their tantrums and everything. And then if I want them to train people in Pune, I will have to send them
there.
accommodation, everything, and also like when they'll be executing into Pune, no people in Jaipur would be able to learn.
Correct.
So content के बिना तो कैसे करेंगे?
Great. I really like how you actually brought in the angle of connecting it to not just one aspect of it, but also everything. Everything.
Okay, how much of an average time of someone who's under 30, 35 gets spent onto consuming content?
Content. Yeah.
I mean,
At least an
2
hour,
hours. At
or
least
to 2 hours a day.
an hour or 2 hour.
Bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
Now tell me anything else that they spend this much time upon.
I don't think so. Eating food.
No, it's not like that.
खाना
Even,
मतलब basic
even,
चीज़ है
even
ये.
at that point of time, they're picking up their phone and watching something.
वो हाँ तब भी ये चल
Tabhi
रहा
it's
था.
happening, right? So if you want to reach those people either as
You
your
have to be there,
clients
हाँ.
or either as your people who will be working along with you, you'll have to have content.
Makes a lot of sense.
Without content, I don't think you'll be able to do anything today.
Great. I want to segue into one thing that you said, that I didn't want to raise funds and I was very clear कि पैसे कमाने या उठाने की जरूरत नहीं, किसी और की खुद से ही कर लेंगे. Now, bootstrapping versus raising funds and the VC world and, you know, getting investors on board, getting your first check, pre-series round, series A and everything, you know, these are buzzwords that are all around the startup ecosystem. And I don't think it's aspirational. It's great. I'm not saying raising funds. I don't have any opinion as such on, let's say, a company that is bootstrapped versus one that has fundraised. But you having built a profitable company of 400 plus employees in these 6 years, wherein you've not raised a single penny from somewhere else or taken a loan, like you mentioned. What are your views on this entire fundraise versus bootstrap debate?
Do you want the honest one?
I obviously want the honest answer.
Okay.
For sure.
Do you want a brutal one or you want
Brutal.
one? Okay.
Please. The podcast is all about being very, very upfront about whatever your thoughts are.
90% of the businesses that are raising funds today do not need them.
I agree.
Even 95% of them. You need money. Of course, there is.
Then why are they raising money?
Because that's a chase. That's something that's some form of validation that you exist out there in the world.
पर उस validation के साथ pressure भी तो आता है यार investors
They don't
का.
understand it.
कितना pressure आता है?
See, it's all about getting into a loop. It's all so when you get your first check there's no way you're going back.
Yeah, फिर तो then you are in the
So
game.
that's all about it. No, so you are saying कि pressure कितना आता है, but till the time you're getting your first check, you do not know about that pressure. No. Once you got your first check, now there is no way going back.
Now you can't. अब तो जाने ही नहीं देंगे.
So that's what that's all what it is about, right? Everybody wants to date Aishwarya Rai till the time you date Aishwarya Rai. Then you get to know, okay, what are the tandems that you have to take care of. So,
which I know Aishwarya Rai was hurt.
but what I'm trying to explain over here is,
Yeah, I get it.
and when something is so fancy and so aspirational to the youth or to the world who do not actually understand that what happens after it or what is going to be the
and the
impact of
stakes
it.
also to get that.
And I think people are starting businesses to raise funding. They have no other goal. They want to make money by selling the company only. I don't see that working out really well. I mean, okay, it might work out if you're doing something great or you have great connections. Okay, ठीक है, you're building something and then you're getting everybody onto stake and then you all together are going to sell it to some bigger shark or something like that. But the point is, why do you need to take money like as a loan or as this funding? I didn't saw a value into it because and by the way, all of this comes from my Marwadi backgrounds. कुछ principles हैं जो घर में clear होते हैं. One of that is पैसा कभी भी free नहीं आता. कहीं ना कहीं से उसको चुकाना पड़ता है.
देना तो पड़ता ही है.
देना पड़ेगा. किसी ना किसी रूप में चुकाना पड़ेगा.
Correct.
If whatever you're getting, nothing is free. You'll have to pay the cost of it some way or the other.
Correct.
So I was very clear. I didn't knew when I was like 19, 18, 19, 20 and that e-commerce thing was going on and everybody was raising funding and everything. कि लोग funding करके बेच के कर रहे हैं सारी सब कुछ चीजें. But I was pretty clear यार, I don't have to do it until unless there was like no other choice or hard. I am dying to do it वाले level पे. So and also I'll tell you one more thing, one more interesting thing. We now have a lot of money, like being profitable, and our leaders also know that we have a lot of money, and they try to solve their problems by spending more money, and they come back to me saying it is not helping us. Then I say, okay, that's what I explained it to you. No great amount of money is solving any problem. At the end of the day, you have to go there and solve the problem. So even if at the end of the day, if you'll have to go there and solve the problem, then why to give more money?
सही बात है.
So the point is, let's say that there is a guy who's recording this. If he's not a great guy who's recording the best way and you have to take care of it, So then why to pay him well?
कोई मतलब फायदा ही नहीं है.
And at the same point of time, even if you're willing to pay 1 lakh rupees per month to someone who records great kind of content, you're not able to hire someone like that, or there is no one who exists like that.
Right.
Then it's not
It's
working
not.
out.
Yeah, it's not solving.
So money doesn't solve the problems. Money is a resource that can be utilized to solve the problems.
Correct.
And that's exactly how I approached the funding and the bootstrap thing. And also, when you're building products, when you're doing a lot of other things, of course, you would need investment because the time to market is also very important.
True.
The reach that you have to go to, the scalability and everything costs something.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of and when there is a lot of competition that is going around also, and when the thing that you're building is not long term, of course, the funding adds some value. But when you're building a services business, I don't see any value because it's not a capital intensive business.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to have more chairs to sit for people, you can rent out any day. If you need less, you can remove those chairs or remove those rental spaces. That's how you can build. If you want to give people the salary, the first project that you're going to get 50% upfront, 30% upfront. That's going to be sufficient in order to pay their salaries and have clear terms between your clients that if I'm going to provide you this, you are going to give me this, and have sufficient bandwidth of
Take care of everything.
take care of everything.
Yeah.
So that's how it worked out. And
Got it.
even believe me, till today, even if we are willing to pay 4 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees a month salary and want our problems to be solved, believe me that's not happening. In fact, we are getting great communicators, poor executors who just promise fake things.
Yeah.
And that doesn't seem to be working out. So all what we are focusing on is to reinvest that kind of money that we are making into building the talent. So we are a manufacturers of talent.
Correct.
We are not the seekers of talent. And if you are the seekers of talent, you need more money.
Maybe creating better leaders and learners.
Exactly. And that's all what matters. I know.
Yeah.
After a certain point of time, even if there is a difference of 30% into the people's salary, and if they are getting a better opportunity, they're ready to work for 30% less if they see the scope of growth
in it. Yeah.
So that's how the society is working, and all what you have to do is focus on to that group rather than getting the so-called 15 years experience. And also one more thing, someone who's experienced 15 years, 20 years into the industry,
Right.
do you think they are any more relevant out there?
No, mostly no.
Mostly no.
They are not as invested, number one, into still reinventing themselves and relearning
They
and unlearning.
So they're not adaptive to the environment.
Correct. The agility is kind of in the negative.
Exactly. So even if you're paying someone 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, whatever a month,
Yeah.
and they used to work into .NET, let's say, and now they want to work into Salesforce, you're providing them a training module in which there is a live trainer who's providing them the training. They're not attending those
Willing
trainings.
to even, correct.
So now what can you
कुछ
do?
फायदा ही
फिर
नहीं
कोई
है.
फायदा ही नहीं है ना. So then why to hire those people? And right now, let's say there's Salesforce. 5 years down the line, there's going to be another technology. If they are getting a problem learning this technology, they'll be having a problem learning that technology as well. And when you hire people who are just freshers, who are fresh out of college and everything, they are willing to learn anything that is being taught to them, no matter what that is. So that way it works out. So you do not need to take or raise funding unless it is absolutely necessary. And when I say absolutely necessary, it's a do and die situation. That's at least where I take it as. Or if your plan is to clearly sell out your company and that's exactly why you're in the game, okay, take it. There's nothing wrong about it.
Personal choice.
It's a personal choice.
Yeah.
But understand that the implications and the complications you're going to get yourself into when you're going to sell off some of your stakes. You're not just selling some of your stakes, you're giving them the decision making.
Correct.
And a lot of the things that you would want to do will
not be possible now.
Will not be possible.
And you can't execute things also the way you would want to. The complete control will not be there for sure.
Also, one more thing that comes from a Marwadi family is
the
ultimate thing to achieve in life is freedom. बहुत सिंपल सा एक लाइन है कि ज़्यादा पैसे हमें इसलिए कमाने ताकि हमारे पास फ्रीडम हो. फ्रीडम बेच के ज़्यादा पैसे से क्या फ़ायदा?
Correct.
So why people want to do business? Because they want freedom. They were not getting that freedom into the business. Again, you're selling that freedom.
Exactly.
For some more money now.
It's a trap.
It's a loop. So why do you get it?
Vicious.
And if you're at a stage, I know a lot of people who are 45, 50, 55, 60, whatever, who are selling their businesses into services and other industries as well. ठीक है, they now want to retire and they do not have anybody to take care of their business at this particular stage. When I was getting funding 2022, there was, oh god, in IT industry, even if you're running a company for 2 years, even if you have 20 employees, there was an investor available for you. And so when, at that point of time we were 300 and we had a name in the market.
Right.
Left, right, center, from everywhere there were investors coming in for calls. We didn't had a single call.
I'm sure many of them would have wanted to acquire the company.
Of course. No single company is left in Jaipur which is not acquired. I mean, let's say if there were companies which were more than 200 in size in Jaipur, and if they got started in last 10 years, only Syntexa is remaining. Everybody else got sold out.
Achha.
So that's how it is. Because they were like, okay, who is going to run this 10 years down the line? और 10 साल में भी हम जितना पैसा कमाएंगे वो हमें अभी मिल जाएगा, तो फिर क्यों करनी मेहनत? So that's how they thought about it. And at that point of time I was 25. So मैं कहा अभी तो जीवन पूरा पड़ा. अभी से कहाँ retirement? तो and also what would I do after getting that money?
Yeah.
Right now we have money. We ask our people that give us ideas where can we invest it. And they give us the ideas and we show them, okay, you take it and you invest it and then you get some returns out of it. And 99% of the time it fails. So people are very clear कि भैया पैसा मांगेंगे मिल तो जाएगा पर जवाब मांगेंगे कि गया कहाँ. So the point is, we have money and we are still figuring out where to invest that money.
Correct.
तो फिर और पैसा लेके फिर उसकी प्रेशर और कि हमने तुमको पैसा दिया था, अब तुम्हारा ARR ये होना चाहिए.
हाँ, इसको 3x करो.
3x करो या वो करो, वो थोड़ा weird है. So one should not, if your target audience is especially the millennials or the Gen Zs who really want to be entrepreneurs, just because it's fancy to be an entrepreneur in today's time, it just seems like it is really not. This funding world and everything is just conversations and all of the bubbles that are floating around onto the world.
True.
Control the water. Don't just fly onto the bubbles, right? Or learn to swim into the waters.
Slightly, I think, hyped up also. But yeah, moving on from there, Shrey, since we spoke a lot about money, and money is an essential and integral part of everybody's life, let's talk a little bit about what you do with all the money that you're making. What I mean
in my
is,
personal life?
Yeah, I mean, in general, the company, like you said, is profitable, it's doing well, and your personal money that you make as a founder, I'm assuming you draw a salary. Where do you invest, spend, reinvest your money personally? How do you look at money today? First, let me start with understanding.
It's a resource. It's
what
water.
Is money for you?
It's water. It's water.
अच्छा तो आज है कल नहीं है, it's flowing.
It should be flowing.
It should be flowing.
It should be flowing. It should be flowing. It should not be trapped.
Got
it. Should never be trapped. मतलब
but what's your mindset with respect to how you want to utilize your personal money?
Earlier, when I initially started, I used to sometimes think, if I had more money, it could have been easier for me. Just because I don't have much money, I'm struggling with all of these things. Right now, I very clearly know that it was not at all about money. And oh God, thank you so much. I didn't have money at that point of time.
Yeah.
So that has got cleared out. But when you talk about the concept of money, the concept of money has got more cleared out. It's not that blurred anymore. When you asked about what do you do with your personal expense,
personal money. The personal how do you use it?
I invest it. I do not have much expenses. मेरे को कोई शौक नहीं है.
कहाँ invest करते हो आप? In different?
I never invest into mutual funds.
Okay.
I do not go into stocks.
Okay.
I am very high on real estate.
मैं सोच ही रही थी.
Yeah, that's
majorly where your money goes in terms of investments. Real estate.
See, real estate is a place where you park your money.
Where you park your money.
Right.
जब बहुत ज़्यादा होता है ना guys, तब ये करते हैं.
हाँ.
Just for context.
हाँ. So okay, let me give you a little bit context about it. When I was young, I'm still young.
When I was young, yaar, we are young only. मतलब young है.
So when I was almost like 15, 16, 14, 17, 18, whatever, I used to roam around those fancy colonies of Jaipur. And I used to look at every house. I still know the details of each and every house, and I know the owners of the houses, what businesses they are into, what cars do they drive, and what series of car number do they have.
Okay.
That's how detailed.
A stalker mindset.
I mean, you might call it psychopath as well.
Psychopath.
But whatever that, I mean, not you can. I'm a keen observer. I observe very very keenly.
Clearly.
हाँ बहुत अच्छे से मतलब it's like scan. ठीक है.
ठीक है.
तो I used to roam around those colonies. I used to look into all of those houses and all of those kotis that were built around there. और मेरे को idea लग जाता था, कुछ पड़ जाता था. And then I used to question कि यार ये लोग क्या करते हैं रहने के जीने के लिए, ये लोग क्या करते हैं जीने के लिए, ये लोग क्या करते हैं जीने के लिए, ये लोग क्या करते हैं जीने के लिए. Got to know कि majority of जो लोग थे वो क्या नाम से businesses में थे. तो फिर वहीं से एक वो confidence आता गया कि हाँ business करना है, मतलब business करना है. और at the same point of time ये भी आता कि यार ये properties करते हैं, ये properties करते हैं, ये भी properties करते हैं, तो इसका मतलब पैसा properties में है. So earlier I used to think, and by the way, the first idea of my that I had for any business was I want to get into real estate.
अच्छा.
As a business. क्योंकि real estate में ही पैसा है, ऐसा ही सुना था.
हाँ.
I got my ideas cleared later on कि उसमें इन सब का पैसा पार्क्ड है. इन्होंने पैसा वहां से कमाया नहीं है. कमाया तो किसी भी धंधे से है, कप बनाने के धंधे से, टेबल बनाने के धंधे से, लाइट बनाने के धंधे से, पर वो सारा जो पैसा है वो पार्क्ड वहां है. So then I got to know that it's a class of asset where money gets parked. Then I was curious, why people park money into real estate and not any other form? Number one, it's tangible. Number two, it's not snatchable. ठीक है. ये दोनों चीजें बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है बाय द वे. स्टॉक्स की वैल्यू जो है, स्टॉक पहली बात तो इंटेंजिबल है, मतलब हवा में चल रहा है. हाँ, सब कुछ तुम्हारे हाथ में कुछ नहीं है. और वॉलेटाइल तो है ही है. और वॉलेटाइल के बाद सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट, अब जैसे फिर ये नहीं बचा तो क्या बचे एसेट क्लासेस? सोना. सोना, गोल्ड या फिर रियल एस्टेट. सोना स्नैचेबल है, वो उसकी सिक्योरिटी मेंटेन रखनी पड़ती है.
करेक्ट.
भाव उसके भी बढ़ते हैं, वैल्यू उसकी बढ़ती है, रिलेटिवली ज्यादा बढ़ती है,
ज्यादा ही बढ़ती है,
और उसकी सिक्योरिटी बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है.
ट्रू.
तो इसलिए इन सब लोगों के, और जमीन क्या है, खरीद के भूल गए, पटक गए, 20 साल 25 साल बाद में जाके संभालेंगे, बस संभालना ही तो है.
संभालना ही है.
एक बार के हाँ किसी ने कब्जा तो नहीं किया है. That happens, right?
That happens, obviously.
तो वो संभालना ही तो है. So और and coming from Marwadi family, savings and everything was a very integral part. कि भाई सेव करना होता है, कुछ करना होता है. और वो
You still save money?
When you say save, do you mean to say मतलब save for in cash or save in assets?
No, save any amount of money just कि इतना तो होना चाहिए बैंक अकाउंट में. Liquid.
और बहुत ज़्यादा.
Okay.
So I'm running a services business.
Right.
If I'll not get client invoices cleared in 2 months, I still have salaries to pay.
Yeah.
So I make sure that there is 6 to 9 months of salary that is available, parked in my bank account. Not in any mutual fund or anything that is transferable.
Correct.
So I keep a lot of cash in hand, because I'm again into the services business. When you ask my personal finances, all the time I need to have some money to have a good sound sleep. Why? Because that gives you a lot of confidence.
It does.
Okay, ठीक है, ज़्यादा क्या होगा, भूखे नहीं मरेंगे ना. So, and when I was starting the business, I told this to one of my brothers, and he was like, यार भैया आप जैसा आदमी ऐसे कैसे बात कर सकता है. So I told to him कि यार आपको कैसे पता था, कर लेंगे. मैंने कहा मेरे को ये पता था कि 15,000 रुपए की वेटर की नौकरी मिल जाएगी मुझे. इससे नीचे तो नहीं जाऊंगा नहीं ना, और उसमें मेरा खर्चा चल जाएगा. तो कर लेते धंधा स्टार्ट. मतलब फिर खोने का तो क्या है. हाँ,
you have nothing to lose.
I have nothing to lose. Same goes. मतलब अभी जब भी हम रिस्क ले रहे हैं, कुछ ले रहे हैं, business is very risky for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because they make it risky. I do not make it risky. मेरे को पता ज़्यादा क्या होगा. ज़्यादा मेरे पास इनको तनख्वाह देने के लिए पैसे नहीं होंगे. क्या करना है, 3 महीने की तनख्वाह देनी है, 6 महीने की तनख्वाह देनी है, भैया तुम संभाल लो तुम्हारी जॉब, मैं मेरे घर चला. So
that's the worst case scenario.
That's the worst case scenario. Yeah. And it has never happened. We have not skipped a day of salaries till date. 6 years. Never into business this happened कि 7 की सैलरी 8 को गई हो. तो जब इतना मेंटेन कर लिया तो वो से तो क्या ही होगा, मतलब. And still we are every month making profits. तो अगर पैसे भी कम होंगे तो वो एक्सपेंस के बराबर आएंगे, और फिर धीरे धीरे कम होंगे ना, तो एकदम से तो नहीं आने वाली. तो फिर रात को नींद अच्छे से आती है. बट पीपल, बिकॉज दे पिक अप अ लॉट ऑफ मनी आउट फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड एंड दे हैव एक्सपेंसेस टू पे ऑफ, एंड उनको लगता है इसके अलावा कोई चॉइस ही नहीं है. दे मेक देयर लाइफ मोर मिजरेबल. एंड हाउ कैन यू ग्रो एंड हाउ कैन यू डू थिंग्स इन स्केल इज व्हेन यू हैव अ काम माइंड.
True.
For that, I save a lot of money. And I would rather say, that's not saving. That's keeping a lot of money in cash.
Yeah.
So I keep that a lot of money in cash for the business. And by the way, I do not draw a lot of salary from the business. I hardly draw any salary. I'll be getting anywhere about 3 to 4 times the salary if I'll be working for some other company than what I'm drawing from Syntexa.
Your company.
And from S2 Labs, I'm not drawing even a single rupee. All of that money is getting reinvested into the business only in order to scale that up.
Yeah.
And there's no, number one, I ask people, where should you invest your money? Number one, yourself.
Correct. The best
The
investment.
best investment that you can do is in yourself. There's no way
No
there
other
are no other higher
better
returns.
return.
No,
Yeah.
no other better
better
returns.
yeah.
Number two, the assets that you truly value and know and understand and you can grow. That's your business. If you do not have that business, then the skill sets that you're selling or the value that you're providing out there or the things that you're doing, right? And if you do not want to scale things up or things like that, keep the money parked in the asset classes जो अड़ी वक्त में काम आते हैं, and which according to me are the assets जो इनकी जिनकी डिमांड हमेशा रहेगी.
Right.
So that's what it is.
Got it. Very interesting. Thanks for explaining that. And I really love the way you approach and keep your money obviously purely separate from, and that is how it should be. Again, company ka paisa is company ka paisa, your paisa is your paisa.
हाँ मतलब that should be very
is-
clear. No,
yeah,
हाँ,
perfect.
वो तो-
Great. I mean, I could keep going on and I could ask you a lot of questions, Shri, but before we move to the rapid fire round, which is a fun segment that I keep towards the end, I have one last question to ask you, which I ask every guest of mine. Slightly philosophical, the most basic cliche question that I ask, but I still ask the question because it tells me a lot about the person and how they are approaching their life, at least from this point. So when you talk about anybody, whether you're an entrepreneur, doing a job, freelancer, kuch bhi aap kar rahe ho, there are going to be things you're going to be good at, things you're not going to be so good at, things you will fail at, things you won't do very well at, or maybe you'll learn from them. So success and failure is a part and parcel of everything, right? I'm sure you've gone through a lot of failures as well. But today, when there is a certain amount of success, so to say, which is the word we attach to wherever somebody has reached, how do you define success personally for yourself today, as of now? What's the meaning of success for you?
See, when you said philosophical, I was like, okay, I should not, we should not go that track. But since you've asked this,
It is a philosophical question, na?
of course it is a philosophical question, but I restrain myself
From giving
from philosophical
Hey,
things.
you have to give your viewpoint. What is success? for
हाँ,
you today?
देखो आपको पता है सौभाग्य क्या होता है?
हाँ,
तो 100 चीजें हैं वहाँ पे.
हाँ,
That is the definition of success for me. और उसमें क्या क्या आती है मैं छोटी छोटी बता देता हूँ.
हाँ.
When you go back home, the family should feel happy that you came.
Okay.
ठीक है?
हाँ.
I see a lot of men out there having shitload of money, but their families are not happy when they're back home. Miserable kind of life you're living.
Life to live. Yeah.
You need to have good health. That's absolutely very important.
Yeah. Vital, essential.
Necessity.
Correct. Bare minimum.
Bare minimum. There needs to be love around the house, in the house.
Yeah.
The society, if you talk about, so when I say सौभाग्य, ठीक है, तो सौभाग्य 2 वर्ड एक साथ मिलके जुड़े हुए हैं,
हाँ, correct.
है ना? तो ऐसी 100 चीजें हैं जो सक्सेस की डेफिनेशन है. सक्सेस की डेफिनेशन $1 मिलियन बिलियन डॉलर मिले तो नहीं है. और मेरे को लगता है जिसके लिए है वो शायद बच्चा है. Because see what I know, a lot of people out there, believe me, a lot of people out there cannot solve the basic problems of their house or their business, basic problems of their house or business with all of that money, and they ask me कि and they say terms like this कि ये पैसा ही मेरे लिए अभिशाप है. These are the lines that they use.
Money is the okay.
So see, problem is until unless you have something, you think that's all what you need.
That's all that you need.
Right?
Once
When you have it, then you understand the value of it. So,
True.
so the definition of success is, for me, is सौभाग्य. When I'm, हाँ मतलब is सौभाग्य.
सौभाग्य मतलब वो सब कवर होनी चाहिए कुछ चीजें.
सब cover होना चाहिए. कुछ भी चूकना नहीं चाहिए. My kids should be happy. That okay, he was my father or he is my father. When I'll be gone, he should say that.
Right.
That's important.
Yeah.
The people who I'm working with should be happy कि अच्छा नहीं हम इनके साथ काम करते हैं.
Correct.
ठीक है. और मतलब पैसा तो मतलब बहुत बेसिक चीज है. I guess this बहुत बेसिक चीज़ है, मतलब पैसा तो है ही, उसके अलावा so what all things do you consider as success?
I think my definition of success is one of the things that you said कि जब आप see when your mind and heart is firstly clear कि you gave your best every day at what you had to do, people around you are doing well and you can go to sleep at peace. नींद अच्छी आनी चाहिए. Simple.
अब मैं
If you're able to sleep every day with that clean, pure, I think, calm mind and get up every day with the enthusiasm to get to work again and still be at it, I think that's success.
and according to me when I said कि सौभाग्य है वैसे तो बट एक्चुअल सक्सेस तो ये है कि भैया मौत अच्छे से आनी चाहिए.
Correct. सही बात है.
every night you are going to death.
Death, yeah.
certain
In a way,
hours.
for certain,
For certain
You don't
hours.
know because the next morning are you going to get up or not?
हाँ.
It's the
And
truth.
at the end of the day when you're going to die you'll not remember the money that you had, because I've met a lot of people in here, believe me, this Jaipur community is very rich, they just
Yeah.
don't show.
I know. दिखाते नहीं है, बहुत है. सब
बहुत
पता है
है.
मुझे.
हाँ, so I know a lot of people who had great amount of money,
Yeah.
but they didn't died well.
Yeah.
So that is success. That when you're dying, you're absolutely like, okay, I'm going. Thanks, bye.
Good. I'm done. I
I'm
did
done.
the best I could while I was here.
Even if I
Now
did,
it's time to
even
go.
if I didn't do the
Do
best,
the best, yeah.
Okay, I'm
You're
gone.
okay.
I'm not coming back.
Guys, okay, ये तो बहुत ही अलग zone
मैंने
में
इसीलिए
चले
कहा
गए.
philosophical नहीं जाना था हमें.
नहीं, but it's okay. I like the answer. You know, the beauty of this question is, or maybe the beauty of how I ask it, I don't know who to give the credit to. Everybody gives a different answer. 50 episodes recorded, 50 different answers for one question, which also I think goes on to show that people perceive success so differently. क्योंकि सब अलग आंसर देते हैं.
And why do you think they do so?
Because it is something that is subjective and which can't be measured, na? Like you said, tangible and measurable always नहीं है. कुछ लोगों के लिए होगी. दूसरी चीज ये सबको मिलती भी नहीं है.
क्या चीज़ है?
उनके हिसाब से सक्सेस जो उनकी डेफिनेशन है सक्सेस की, दैट डिफाइंस ना.
वो कभी भी नहीं मिलेगी, मुझे बता दो किसको मिली.
एग्जैक्टली, वही बात है ना. दैट्स द थिंग.
वो मिलती नहीं है तो मतलब वो अब वो रियलाइजेशन किसी को जल्दी आ जाता है,
करेक्ट.
किसी को लेट आता है. बस इतना सा है.
अब ये ज्ञान देने वाला पॉडकास्ट ना बन जाए और बहुत ही अलग डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है. But with that, we'll segue into the rapid fire round, Shrey. I've had a great conversation going into deeper length conversations and topics for sure. But with that, let's get started. ठीक है? The first question that I have for you for the rapid fire round is, what if you had to, let's say, choose at any point of time between S2 Labs and Syntexa to keep it running? Which one would
Always
you choose and
Syntexa.
why?
Always Syntexa.
Always Syntexa. You didn't blink an eye before saying that.
I was waiting for you to stop the question to answer it. So,
How were you so clear? Ki Syntexa.
see, S2 Labs is a community work that we're doing today. We're not making much money out of it. As we talked about it earlier.
Thanks for being honest.
As we talked about it earlier, that training business is not a scalable business. And that's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Of course, we're trying to scale it to as max as possible.
Whatever you can best, yeah.
But the main thing is, we are running it so that the essence of true Salesforce training should not be lost out there in the world, as long as we can maintain it. But when it comes to Syntexa, it's right now at a stage where it can be scaled up to the limitless possibility that we can imagine. And that's why.
Got it. ठीक है. Great. Thanks for answering that. The second question is, what is the most, I would say, difficult financial decision that you've had to make with respect to the company, wherein you were in a fix? Anything wherein you have had to think with respect to spending the money or putting the money there and it's not turned out to be a good decision?
It's not turned out to be a good decision. Yeah, I would not say that it it will sound very cocky कि मतलब नहीं ऐसा नहीं हुआ.
ऐसा नहीं हुआ.
बहुत सोच समझ के पैसा लगाया.
सही है. मारवाड़ी मतलब प्रॉपर है ना.
भाई रुपए का ₹1.25 ₹1.5 नहीं हुआ तो क्या मतलब है, मतलब. And that's something that we have calculated very well.
मतलब nothing.
You want to know कि कहाँ पे सोचना बहुत ज्यादा पड़ा.
हाँ, सोचना भी. Maybe where you were very skeptical कि डालना चाहिए पैसे या नहीं इधर. Will it even help?
Skeptical, will it even help? नहीं नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं
नहीं?
पता है वो तो और प्लस ज़्यादा सोचना वहाँ पड़ा वी आर बिल्डिंग अ न्यू ऑफिस ऑफ आवर्स
Okay.
which we bought which was very expensive.
I'm sure.
It is 50,000 square feet of space that we have over there.
Okay.
मतलब which was earlier 25,000. We got 25,000 more built up there.
ठीक है.
The work is still in progress. That's exactly where I have to head up after this. But so when we were about to make that transaction, I was like what 26, 20, 20, 22 I was 26 or something like that. My father knew about it. I always make sure that I do not disclose the things before they are done. Again, Marwadi thing. So my father
तक नहीं होगा बताएंगे.
बताना नहीं है हाँ मतलब जबरदस्ती वहम आता है
वहम आता है हाँ. I know.
हाँ तो
Yeah, I don't think it's just a Marwadi thing. I also do this.
and I think it's best.
It's best. Yeah.
So the point is, so when we were about to make that or consider that transaction, my father said it to me very clearly for the very first time in my life. कि देख सुन मेरे तो बाप दादाओं ने भी इतने बड़े ट्रांजैक्शन नहीं करे.
हाँ.
तू तेरी समझ से तेरी समझदारी से देख के करना. कल को मुझे मत बोलना कि ऊंचा नीची कोई बात हो जाए तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाऊंगा. मेरे पास मैं मेरा कर दूं उधर से बेच के भी तेरे को नहीं दे पाऊंगा. तो at that point of time when I heard my father saying like this, I was like, okay, this is a big thing.
Yeah.
But then we did the due diligence and मतलब वो हम सीख लेते हैं. जैसे I asked you, no, right, whether you take care of the cameras, mics and everything. There's not even a single equipment in this room or in this whole office which I cannot operate, maintain, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, repair and stuff like that. So I get into the details of the things in order for them, in order to be not dependent.
Great. I wish I could say that I do the same, but I don't. Can't.
Again,
इस aspect में
it's
आएगा.
also about interest, right?
Interest, हाँ. It's about interest. At least in this aspect.
So when I did the due diligence of that building and stuff like that, and it was like huge hefty amounts of money that was getting invested, we had to think a lot. But उसके अलावा तो नहीं सोचना पड़ा.
Got it. ठीक है. Third question in the rapid fire round. What is the most expensive purchase that you've made so far?
Personally,
Yes. Personally. Not company wise.
nothing.
यार don't come on. कुछ तो अभी ऑफिस बोला आपने पर वो तो कंपनी के पैसे.
हुआ ना.
But personally nothing.
Personally, real estate for myself.
हाँ तो say that.
हाँ, so वो तो है. हाँ, that I mean.
हाँ.
I mean, so whatever money I am left with, I just.
You put it into real estate. So that is the most expensive purchase.
हाँ वो तो फिर वो purchase नहीं हुआ ना. That's purely an asset that you are owning that which you can sell later on.
Correct.
So
but it is your money that is again.
That's money
being
parked.
Parked. Yeah. वही है. I get
हाँ,
it.
but when you ask like ठीक है, you asked expense you
Most
made.
expensive purchase you've made.
Purchase is okay.
कुछ
Product
भी
or service.
जूते, कपड़े, फोन, गाड़ी, घर.
घर तो मतलब नहीं ऐसे, मतलब वो रियल एस्टेट में ही आ जाता है. वो तो जमीन ही खरीदी थी.
ओके ठीक है. समझ गई मैं.
It's probably real estate. You can count it as home. और वो भी ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब कोई the penthouse of the best place in Jaipur, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. जमीन है pure.
Got it. Chalo, the fourth question is, if you had the chance to host a round table dinner conversation with any three people living or dead, who would you choose?
Milton Friedman.
Okay. Very interesting.
Do you know about him?
A little bit. I've read about him a little. But I am not sure if I am attributing it to the same person.
Who do you think he is?
I think he is a scientist.
He's an economist.
He's not. He's an economist.
Economist. Number 2, Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn, I don't know.
You don't
ये
have
नाम मैंने नहीं सुना है.
Milton Friedman, Jim Rohn, and 3, right?
Yes.
You said.
Yeah, 3.
1 I cannot take a name of. But living.
क्यों?
Now क्यों नहीं? चलो ठीक है, we'll change the name. Third is.
See, these are people you want to learn from, right?
ठीक है, I'll take the name. Gautam Buddha.
So why can't you take the name?
No, I changed the name, no? I changed the name.
ठीक है. Why these three? And who is John Rohn? I don't know.
Jim Rohn.
हाँ, कौन है ये?
So he's a capitalist again, entrepreneur who ran companies, great companies in
Based
US.
out of where?
US. Okay. US. He had a great influence and impact on me. when I was growing up, and so when I was so hungry about learning business, and everybody around in my family was like, पढ़ ले यार तुम लोग ना मौके दे रहे हो काम करने के, ना मुझे कुछ
कुछ और
सीखने का.
पढ़ने को बोल रहे हो ऊपर से.
हाँ, this guy came into my life, and by the way, people come into your life. You do not search out for them. You might think that you
They come to you.
they
but
come
that
to
doesn't
you.
happen.
It's they choosing you probably. That's how, at least how I
Yeah,
take
yeah.
it as.
Yeah.
So he came into my life and probably impacted in a great way.
Hmm.
So he's one of it. मतलब he's been a, you can say, motivational speaker probably, पर वो motivational speaker से ज़्यादा कुछ और है. So he used to run a lot of financial organization or insurance companies in US.
Okay.
And even after he retired, he was called back to sort the problems with Edelweiss, or I don't know what the name of that company is. But yeah, it was a big financial firm which was going through a lot of trouble, and this guy, even after retirement, went back and solved that particular problem, and had like things cleared out. And I learned a lot about business from him. So that's the one. Milton Friedman, he's an economist. He's amazing. Always smiling. I love his smile. And then
And Gautam Buddha.
yeah, that's
What an interesting table to have dinner at and people to have dinner with.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Great.
And then by the way, they all are aligned. If you don't,
They are aligned.
they're all of them are aligned. Believe me, all the great business people are out there are the most spiritual ones.
That is.
That's fact.
वो तो मैं मानती हूँ.
हाँ, तो
For sure. 100%.
so of course
उसके बिना उधर जाते हैं नहीं
उसके
ना.
बिना उधर
आप
जाते ही
पहुंच ही
नहीं
नहीं
ना.
सकते हो.
वहाँ पहुंच ही नहीं सकते.
नहीं
तो
पहुंच
वाली
सकते.
चीज़ है.
सही बात है.
So that's what it is.
Okay, with that we come to the last question of the rapid fire round, which is, what is that one skill, according to you, that everybody, irrespective of age, domain they want to get into, whatever they want to do in life, which is necessary, if not to have a successful career, but just have a good, fulfilling career? एक skill.
एक
That one skill everybody should adapt to, learn, or build or work on to just have a good, fulfilling career.
I guess people skills.
People skills.
Nothing but so whenever you'll ask me about skills, I take skills in concentric circles, right?
Okay.
Number one, job related or technical skills.
Right.
Whatever you are doing in order to survive. Right. If you want to do something beyond your survival, you'll have to learn people skills.
Correct.
Above people skills, there are money management skills. And above money management skills, there are life skills.
Right.
So you said fulfilling life,
Life, yeah.
people skills, not money management skills. A lot of people who might have great money management skills might not be very great with people skills, and might not have fulfilling life.
lives. Yeah.
Right? So that's what it is. People skills is something
People skills is, according to you, important.
very much.
Very much.
Very much.
Great. Wonderful. I think that's been a great, insightful conversation. There's so much that I've learned about the Salesforce ecosystem, about hiring, people management, leadership, and I'm sure that everybody who has stuck around till the very end is also going to have a lot to learn back and implement and execute. I think I always say this. Anybody who I'm getting onto the podcast and anything they're sharing, अगर आप उसको सिर्फ सुनने वाले हो and you're going to go back after just listening to it and not implementing any share of it, it's not going to help. If they're able to learn it, process it, and then execute it in their life, then they're going to see the results of what somebody else has done, and maybe then tread a similar path or carve your own, whatever you choose to do. I think I've had a great time, and thank you so much, Shrey, for coming on the Dharya Decodes podcast. If there's anything that you would like to end the podcast on a note of, anything you want to share for the audience, ultimately, and what your experience was like, that would be great.
So a lot of people ask me for advices a lot of times.
Yeah.
And there's only one advice that I give to them. Irrespective of who is asking, and of course there is a lot of personalized advices also that people get from me, but one advice which does not need any personalization is something that I can share. So do you think I should share the advice?
Please, please do.
So if the times are bad, put your head down and work. And if the times are good, again,
Put your head down and work. That's just the way. Yeah.
It's going to solve everything. So that's what it is.
Great. Okay. Wonderful. I think that's a great piece of advice. And like I said, it was great interacting with you, Shrey. I hope you had a great time as well. And that's it for this episode. We're going to make sure that we link down Shrey and Syntexa's socials in the description. So definitely check it out. That's all for this episode. I will definitely see you in the next one with yet another interesting guest. And before you go, anywhere else. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Dharya Decodes channel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.